What's up guys, welcome back to another episode. In the last video, I showed you how to create a Pega application. If you missed it, the link's in the description or the card above. Go check it out. But that was just laying the foundation. Now in this video, we are taking it a step further by adding real functionality using case types. So your app actually does something useful and not just sit there. Let's jump right in. Go ahead and log in to your Pega platform. You can create case types in App Studio as well as Dev Studio. First, I'll show you how to do it in Dev Studio. But before we dive in, let's quickly understand what case types are and why they matter. Pega applications are designed to automate business processes. And every business process is basically a set of actions, or what we call steps, that help you achieve a specific business goal, like processing loan requests, onboarding a new employee, or resolving a customer issue. For example, if the goal is to process loan requests, the business process might involve the following steps: submission of the loan request by the customer, reviewing the submitted request for completeness, running a basic eligibility check, performing a detailed credit and risk assessment, approving or rejecting the loan request, notifying the customer about the decision. So where do case types fit into all this? A case type helps you define that entire business process in Pega by mapping out each step in the order it happens and giving you a visual view of how everything flows. Now let's create a case type for the loan approval process we just talked about. Go to the Case Types Explorer in the left navigation pane. Then click Add a Case Type. A dialog will pop up. Just enter a name for your case type and hit Submit. This will take you to Case Designer, where we will define our business process. First, we will identify and add the different stages involved in it. Stages are like the major phases of the process. Each stage represents a key milestone in achieving the business outcome. For example, in this case, the loan approval process could involve the following stages: application intake stage, where the customer submits the loan request; initial review stage, where the loan officer checks the submitted request for completeness and runs a basic eligibility check; underwriting stage, where the underwriter performs a detailed credit and risk assessment; and final decision stage, where the manager makes the final call on the loan request, either approving or rejecting it. Let's mark this as the final stage in the process by instructing the system to resolve the case here. By the way, when you create a new case type in Pega, the create stage is added by default. We will use it as the first stage, where the customer provides the loan request details. Next, we will add steps and processes within these stages. A step is the actual action that needs to be performed. It could be a manual task like collecting the request details of the customer, or an automated one like sending an email. A process in this context is simply a group of steps that work together to achieve a single goal within the stage. Let's delete the default create step in the first stage and add 4 new steps to collect the loan request details from the customer, like personal information, loan amount, income details, and supporting documents. Now let's add a step in the second stage for the loan officer to check the request for completeness. We will also rename the process. Next, in the same stage, we will add another process to check the customer's basic eligibility for the loan. Similarly, let's add these steps in the third stage for the underwriter to review the customer's credit history, credit score, and assess the financial risk. We will also rename the process to clearly reflect its purpose. Finally, let's move on to the fourth and final stage. Next, we will add the approve reject step for the manager to make the final decision on the request. Now, as soon as you add the approve reject step, you will notice that an alternate stage is automatically included below. The 4 stages we have added so far are called primary stages. They represent the happy path, the ideal route the loan request follows when everything goes as expected. Alternate stages, on the other hand, handle situations when things do not go as planned. For example, when the loan request is rejected. Can you think of other situations in the loan approval process that might need alternate stages? Let me know in the comments. Now let's instruct the system that if the request is rejected, move it to the alternate stage. In the alternate stage, we will add a send email step to notify the customer about the rejection. Then let's add another process to the stage to log the rejection reason. We will delete the default step in the process and replace it with a run data transform step to capture the reason. You will define the logic for that in the data transform rule. Let me know in the comments if you would like a detailed video on the data transform rule. By the way, this alternate stage is already set to resolve the request with the status of resolved rejected. If the request is approved, it will continue along the happy path. So let's extend it by adding a process to notify the customer about the loan approval using a send email step. Then we will add another process to the happy path to initiate loan disbursement. This process will include a create case step. Here is something to keep in mind. You will need to create a separate case type for loan disbursement and define the full process there, just like we did for loan approval. The create case step will reference this case type. Finally, don't forget to save your changes. And that completes our business process design, or what's more commonly called the case lifecycle in Pega. Because the loan request will move through this cycle over its lifetime. Now let me quickly show you how to create a case type in App Studio. Go to Case Types in the left navigation pane and click New in the top right corner. In the dialog that appears, enter a name for your case type. When you create a case type in App Studio, you'll see an additional option to use autopilot for building your case lifecycle and data model. I've talked more about autopilot in the App Studio introductory video. If you missed it, the link's in the description or the card above. Go check it out. Click Next. On the next screen, you'll see a case lifecycle suggested by autopilot, complete with stages and steps, based on the name you entered on the previous screen. Pretty cool, right? You can add more stages and steps, or edit the existing ones to tailor the lifecycle to your needs. Once you are done, click Next again. This screen shows you a data model recommendation from autopilot involving various fields that match your case type. You can modify, delete, or add more fields here as needed. Don't worry, I will dive deeper into data model design in the next video. Finally, click Submit. Give it a moment, and just like that, your case type will be ready, complete with its lifecycle and data model. While creating your case type, if you do not want to use autopilot, just select Use Standard Template instead. This will create a blank case type. You can then manually define the lifecycle by adding stages, processes, and steps, just like I showed you earlier in Dev Studio. That's it for this video. But before we wrap up, take a quick look at the naming conventions for stages, processes, and steps. They'll be up on screen next. And hey, if you found this video helpful, go ahead and click the like button. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you do not miss out on future videos. I'll see you in the next one.